Let's play music. Like that.
So you are based like in Korea?
So my audience, like 99% are from Korea, but I live in the US.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it is morning time right now. So, good evening everyone. 여러분 안녕하세요. 자, 사람들 좀 오게 하시죠. 오늘 특별 인터뷰입니다. 그래서 이거 완전히 글로벌이죠. So Korea, US, and Italy. So we'll have a live AMA soon. 그래서 조만간 저 12시에 하기로 한 거를 좀 땡겼죠. 왜냐하면 여러분들이 아무래도 너무 늦으면 피곤하실 테니까 제가 30분 정도 땡겨달라고 해가지고요. 좀 일찍 시작하겠습니다. 그러니까 지금 이미 조나산 와 있거든요. 지금 화면에 보시듯이. 그러니까 오시면 인사도 좀 하시고요. 다른 분들 좀 불러주시고 이 라이브 인터뷰가 정말 알찬 인터뷰가 될 수 있도록 도와주시기 바랍니다. So I'm just telling them that invite them over here, and then we are studying 30 minutes earlier than we scheduled because midnight in Korea is quite late. So I just want them to come in a little early and have a little I just want them to not to be tired.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So are you watching the live stream, or do you, or no?
Oh, I didn't know about that before, but now I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you about that.
Yes, I didn't know about that because, but I'm quite amused to be here, so I surely going to watch it from now on.
Oh yeah, so good. Yeah, people are coming in right now. So I appreciate your cooperation because you're the CEO and sometimes it is hard to communicate with the CEO actually. So this is good.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah. 자, 지금은 뭐 아직 시작 시간 전이니까요. 여러분 목소리가 지금은 안 들릴 것 같은데 좀 있으면 이제 음악 소리 줄이면은 들릴 겁니다. 네, 소리를 좀 키울게요. So the next one will be the last intro music. So get ready to deep dive. Get ready to deep dive, 여러분. 자, 채팅창에요. 제 소리가 잘 들리면은 1번 눌러주시고요. 지금 조나단 와 있습니다. 와 있고, 이탈리라 그러네요. 이탈리. 자, 이탈리아에서 접속하고 있고요. 현재 이탈리아 시간은 your time is 3:24 p.m. correct?
Yes.
Okay. Get ready to deep dive. 자, 채팅창 우리 텔레그램 방에요. 어서들 오시라고 알려주십시오. 오케이. Alright. Good.
So we're live now.
Yeah, actually people are seeing you right now.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. 이태리 타월. Oh my goodness. So what?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, what's your ticker? So you're on the coin market cap too, correct?
Yes, correct.
So INNO, or how do you spell?
It's INNBC.
INNBC?
Yes, which stands for Innovative Bioresearch.
Okay. Get ready, get ready. Oh, okay.
Get ready for a deep dive.
All right. Innovative Bioresearch coin, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Deep dive.
Yes, this is the market cap, and the main market we are traded is Big One Exchange.
Big One Exchange, correct. 자, get ready, get ready, get ready. 네.
Get ready. Deep dive.
Alright. 자, 여러분 안녕하십니까? 지금 오늘 인터뷰 하실 분이 와 계세요. So, Jonathan Fior, is that right? Jonathan Fior?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, that's
Innovative Bioresearch. So they want to let's see whether they can hear you well. I'm asking them whether they can hear you well. 자, 지금 소리가 조나단의 목소리가 잘 들리는지 확인 좀 해주시겠어요? Okay. Audio setting. Output level. I'm going to volume up so they can hear your voice.
yeah. Hopefully they can hear me.
Okay, now. 자, 지금 저 소리가, 조나단의 소리가 잘 들리면 지금 1번을 채팅창에 눌러주시겠어요? So there is a little delay because of the latency. So it takes a little time. Oh, looks like they can hear you well. That's great. That's great.
Yes, that's great.
Now, okay. 자, 여러분, 그래서요, 오늘 그 인터뷰는요, 영어하고 한국어로 진행이 될 겁니다. 생방송으로 지금 진행이 되고 있고요. 한국, 미국, 그리고 이탈리, 3개국에서 동시에 진행이 되고 있어요. 그래서 이 인터뷰는 그 마이다스 핸즈가 이제 의료 쪽에 계시잖아요. 닥터박이 의료 쪽에 있다 보니까는 이쪽 관련 코인이거든요. 그래서 이걸 찾아가지고 이제 저한테 몇 번 메시지를 주셨고요. 그러다가 이제 그 AMA까지 연결이 됐습니다. 그래서 저희 생각에는 그 저평가된 코인이다 이렇게 생각이 들어요. 근데 이제 과연 이 코인, 이 토큰이 어떤 것인지 또 어떤 프로젝트인지 이런 것들을 가지고 AMA 하면서 질문을 하고요. 상당히 기본적인 질문이지만 되게 중요한 질문이죠. 이런 질문들이 없이 어떤 그 코인 투자하기는 힘들 거다 생각을 하고요. 그리고 나서 이제 제가 질문하고 여러분들도 혹시라도 질문이 있으시면 채팅창에 질문을 해주시면 그거를 받아가지고 또 질문을 드리도록 할게요. 그러니까 여러분들의 참여가 되게 중요합니다. 그렇죠? 그래서 우리는 민주적인 방송이죠. 민주적인 방송이니까 여러분들이 함께 참여하실 수 있기를 바라고요. 지금 채팅창을 여기 옆에다가 놓겠습니다. 그래서 여러분이 어떤 질문을 하는지 좀 함께 살펴보도록 할게요. 지금 화면에 좌측에 있으신 분이 조나단이고요. 우측은 저죠. 캡틴입니다. 오케이, so 오늘 일찍 오신 분들 계시네요. JJ 박, 한재호, 빈체로 3등. 오, 그레이 대박. 짜고 왔어. 자, 굿이브닝 마스터 셸렁 오셨고 눈솔 오셨고요. 김정우, 대박, 마이다스 핸즈, 눈솔, 최디퍼, 용기수, 데이비드 킴 미국에서도 오셨고요. 자, INNBC가 심볼이죠. 네, 맞습니다. 이창열 오셨고, 옥메이커 오셨고, 김정후, DT Love, 김광수, alright. 자, 여러분 오셨습니다. 좋아요 잊지 마시고요. 와우, 23분 오셨네요. 이 늦은 시간에. 오늘 조금 일찍 시작하기로 했습니다. 왜냐, 여러분들이 너무 피곤하면 안 될 테니까 30분 일찍 시작하기로 했고요. 오늘 함께한 조나산과 함께 이 프로젝트에 대해서 잘 알 수 있는 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. So welcome, welcome. So people came in. I think about 20, 30, over 20 people are watching live. And this one, so we'll learn more about INNBC today. So Jonathan, can you tell me about yourself and your team?
Oh, sure.
Mhm.
Thank you for the question. What is NNBC? NNBC is the first token which was launched built upon on an actual research project. What this means is that before launching NNBC, I was working as a research scientist developing therapies for HIV and cancer. And at some point during 2018, I was observing the market and I thought, I think the blockchain has a huge potential for medical field. So I thought about starting a blockchain project related to scientific research. And I was the first to launch such a project, and it has been extremely challenging. But what distinguishes INNBC from any other project is that before launching the project, we already had actual research studies running. And so we launched a project which was built on actual scientific research. So with actual scientific publications and with actual research studies. This way, we were aiming toward the centralization of scientific research. Starting from the funding point of view, so having taking advantage of the blockchain for funding the research, but also for decentralizing the whole process, which means storing the scientific data on chain, because the blockchain has an incredible useful feature, which is the immutability, and at the same time also the timestamp, which allows you to record the data on the chain so that it will never be altered. At the same time, the timestamp ability gives you a proof of authorship, which protects the intellectual property. So this allows research scientists to have their work recorded, and also it's going to protect their work, to say that I am the person who really did this achievement, this discovery. Because sometimes in science your work gets stolen. So I think the blockchain has a very great utility for protecting intellectual property.
Okay.
And I have some colleagues working in drug design, and we are working on developing the app, which would be very useful for them for this specific reason, because sometimes you work and especially in large teams, maybe there's people who perform most of the work, and then all the work gets credited to maybe the team leader and not to the people working who did most of the work. So I think that the blockchain has the potential to provide a very good utility for intellectual property. So as I was saying, we launched the project in 2018, and
So can you pause a little bit, because I need to interpret a little bit. Can you pause?
yes.
오케이. 그래서 제가 이제 질문을 하나 던졌는데 그냥 줄줄줄줄 나오니까 잠깐 멈췄습니다. 왜냐면은 제가 이제 먼저 이 팀에 대해서 좀 알고 싶었는데요. 여기서 키 핵심은 저거인 것 같습니다. 그러니까 이미 존재하고 있는 그런 리서치 프로젝트에 블록체인을 가미시키는 거로 하고, 이 사람도 이제 연구원으로 있었다고 하는데, 이 블록체인이 왜 관심이 있었냐면은 이 이제 연구 이런 것들이 온체인에 올라가게 되고, 그렇게 되면은 이제 지적 소유권을 보호받을 수 있다 이거죠. 이게 누구 건지 이런 것들을 알 수 있을 거다라고 생각을 하고 기존에 있었던 그런 연구들이 있는 상태에서 거기에 이제 블록체인 프로젝트가 블록체인이 올라간다 이렇게 돼 있습니다. So if you can I will ask questions and then you talk and then we pause and then I interpret into Korean
Okay, yes.
and then things like that. So it'll be more interactive. Okay,
Yes,
and
okay,
so they can understand. So you talk about yourself. So you're a researcher at,
Yes, I'm a research
in the medical
scientist.
field. Mhm. Yeah.
Yes, I'm a research scientist, and I graduated in the University of Milan, and I immediately started working on HIV research
Mhm.
and cancer. So my main area of specialization is HIV and cancer,
Mhm.
virology, and given the coronavirus pandemic, I also have some specific expertise on the virology field. So. Especially now, the situation here is very difficult with the lockdowns and the pandemics. So basically, people is forced to stay home. There's a lot of restrictions, and this is an area where I believe the blockchain can really help, especially with this project, which is also we also have a line of work on coronavirus, and we're trying to raise as much resources as possible and devote them to coronavirus vaccination research. So this is a critical issue that we have at the moment, where I believe the blockchain can really be useful. So INNBC started as a project mostly focused on HIV research, because that's my background. We already have a therapy in experimentation which was tested on animals, and we had some very great results in terms of eradicating the virus. And this is a cell-based treatment, which is supposed to be extremely more economic. The cost is supposed to be extremely lower than that of traditional antiretroviral therapy. So, and also I believe that this is true to the spirit of the blockchain, to be able to create an affordable treatment for those individuals that cannot normally afford the treatment. So we also have this mission to have a treatment which is affordable in developing countries. And the blockchain allows you to bypass the traditional economical conflict of interest of the pharmaceutical industry, which on one side is aiming to make as much profit as possible out of those diseases, while we have a different philosophy being supported by a community which works for the good of mankind, allows us to have the funding provided by the community itself, which is working together to address those issues. So we can work toward the greater goal of providing the world with a low-cost HP therapy.
오케이. So 지금 제가 이제 질문 그 하나만 물어볼게요. 닥터 박. 의사들은 말이 많죠. 그렇죠. 그런 것 같아요. 되게 열정적인 것 같은데 제가 이제 질문 하나를 던지면은 답이 10개가 나옵니다. 그래서 그 팀하고 얘기를 했고요. 지금 이분이 그 밀란 대학교에서 그 연구원으로 있고, 그리고 그 HIV 바이러스 쪽에, 그리고 뉴럴러지 이런 쪽에 전문 그쪽 연구원이라고 합니다. 그래서 지금 상당히 많은 얘기가 나오는데, 이제 블록체인을 통해서 자기 연구 분야인 이런 그 HIV 바이러스 퇴치에 대해서 되게 관심이 많고, 그리고 이제 그 제3국, 그러니까 예를 들면 좀 낙후된 곳에 어떤 그런 그 HIV 이런 것들이 많이 있잖아요. 그런 것들을 퇴치하는 데 있어서 상당히 사명감을 가지고 있다. 그리고 또 그 어떤 의료 비용 같은 것들을 저렴하게 하는 데 있어서 이 블록체인이 도움이 될 수 있을 것이라고 생각을 한다. 이렇게 얘기를 했어요. 그래서 제가 지금 큰 골자만 얘기를 하고요. 그리고 겁나 많죠. 그래서 이제 핵심들을 얘기를 하고 있어요. 디테일한 건 다 말을 못할 것 같아요. So you are where are you located? You are located in Italy, right? Your team, you.
Yes, in Milan. Yes, exactly.
Milan.
We have Yes, in Milan. We work mostly from Italy, and although the research work is decentralized in the sense that we also, when we perform the research, we hire like some laboratories depending on the kind of work we need to perform. For instance, we perform a live study for our HV therapy testing it in animals, and that was performed in France. However, our team is located in Italy. We mostly operate from Italy, in Milan. And the therapy that we are developing is called suppion cell infusion therapy, which is a very novel HV treatment. And also something that I'd like to explain is that the token itself is meant to be used as a means of payment to access the treatment. So all the products that we are developing, all the pharmaceutical products that we are developing will be accessible through the token. So in this way, the token is backed by the value of a medical service, of a medical product. So one thing that I also wanted to have for these tokens to be actually backed by something, because many tokens are like, I wouldn't say joke, but like some tokens are just about memes. Some tokens doesn't really have a real world application or are not backed by actual, by something, unless we are like stable coins, which are backed by actual fiat currencies. So for this token, I wanted to have a real world utility application and something that made the token valuable, actually valuable. And I believe that if you study the research that we are developing, I believe all research is very valuable. And I believe the research itself is a valuable asset that can back the value of the token. And also, I believe that having a token that is going to address some health issues such as HIV, cancer, and coronavirus, hopefully, allows you also to make some positive changes in our society. So in one way, this token, you also get the benefit, not just from like an economical point of view. You're not just having gains with the token price, but you also may have some actual benefits for your for the society, like addressing actual issues, which is going to cause some positive changes for our economy. Like coronavirus now is causing a lot of issues to economy. It's blocking commercial activities. It's causing a lot of economical damage to our society. So addressing this issue will allow us to improve our economy again. Like it is something that is going to directly address all our lives.
Okay, thank you. 그래서 지금 이 조나산하고 팀들이 이탈리아 밀란에 있고요. 그리고 이제 생체 테스트, 이렇게 그 동물 가지고 테스트하는 거, 이런 것들은 이제 프랑스에서 또 진행이 된다고 하고요. 또 HIV나 캔서나 코비드 19이 지금 퍼지고 있잖아요. 그래서 우리가 이제 이 토큰을 가지고 뭘 할 수 있겠느냐. 그러면 이제 실제로 이 토큰을 가지고 이제 메디컬 서비스를 받는데, 의료 서비스를 받는데 이 토큰으로 지불을 할 수가 있답니다. 지불할 수 있도록 그렇게 디자인을 하고 있고, 그래서 이 토큰 자체가 어떤 그런 가치, 사용할 수 있는 용도가 있다라는 것이죠. 그래서 우리가 토큰을 구매를 할 때 물론 토큰의 어떤 차트를 보면서 가격이 오르니 어쩌니 이런 것들도 생각할 수 있겠지만, 실제로 이 토큰이 그러한 어떤 투자용으로도 사용이 될 수도 있겠지만, 실제로 의료 쪽에서 사용이 될 수 있고, 결국은 이것이 지금 코비드 19이라든가 여러 가지 경제적인 어려움이 있을 때 이런 것들이 어떤 그 현재 있는 그런 현재 있는 문제점들에 대해서 해결할 수 있는, 또 어떤 문제점들을 대해서 방안을 내릴 수 있는 그러한 것 때문에 어떤 투자나 돈을 버는 것뿐만 아니라 어떤 사회에 어떤 긍정적인 변화를 줄 수 있는 가치가 있다라고 그렇게 얘기를 하고 있습니다. Okay. They are asking many questions here, so I will ask the question later. after this. 그래서 지금 그 기본적인 질문들을 하고요. 여러분들이 하는 그런 질문들은 별도로 다시 그 질문을 하도록 하겠습니다. 채팅창에 올려주시는 거 제가 보고 있고요. So I think you explained in general in the beginning what is INNBC and why you started this project. But can you simply explain what is INNBC stands for, and then what the project is about in short sentence? So I mean we can repeat it.
Yes, of course. INNBC stands for Innovative Bioresearch Coin, which is a utility coin issued by Innovative Bioresearch, which is a biotech company. And the token is meant to be used as a means of payment to access all the pharmaceutical products that we're going to release. So the base utility of the token is to be used as a means of payment. INNBC also funds the research that we perform. So it's like the engine of our project. At the same time, we are also developing decentralized applications for that will be used for easing the process of performing the research. And INNBC will also have an utility as governance token of the decentralized application that we are developing. So it will be central to the ecosystem that we are developing.
Okay, thank you. That's great. That's great. So Innovative Bioresearch Coin, that's the INNBC, correct?
Yes.
Okay. 그래서 이게 그 INNBC가요. Innovative Bioresearch. Sorry about that. 이름이 Innovative Bioresearch Coin. 이것의 약자가 INNBC입니다. INNBC고요. 실제로 여기서 사용되는 토큰은 의료 서비스를 받을 때 지불하는 것으로 사용이 될 수도 있고, 또 의료 연구에 펀딩을 하는 데 사용이 될 수도 있고요. 또 그 어떤 지금 현재 이 펀딩과 지불에 사용되는 중추적인 역할을 하는 게 INNBC 토큰이고, 또 이런 것들을 쉽게 사용할 수 있도록 하기 위해서 앱도 개발하고 있다, 이렇게 얘기를 했습니다. Okay, that's great. So I think you explained already why you started this project. So can you like a bulletproof to summarize why you start this project?
Yes, the main reason is that we wanted to decentralize scientific research. So on one side, we thought that the blockchain could have an amazing ability to provide the decentralization of the funding of scientific research. So instead of having like government grants or private institutions funding the research, we can bypass the traditional economical conflict of interest by using the blockchain, by using a community actively supporting the project. So this allows you to produce, for example, to fund a research developing a low-cost HIV therapy, which would not normally be funded by a traditional company which doesn't want certain economical interest to be touched. So decentralization of the funding on the research is one very important aspect. On the other side, the blockchain allows you to create a token which can be used as a means of payment. So having a currency, having your own currency, which can be used as a means of payment for the customers, for the patients, to access the treatment, allows you to create a currency which can run on the blockchain without the need of banks. And it is another important aspect of decentralization. I mean, I believe that being able to use the currency to pay like your medical expenses using the blockchain to make medical treatment affordable is our goal. So we aim to produce a treatment which is cheaper than traditional therapies and we provide accuracy that is an NBC that people can use to access medical treatment, to access a cheaper medical treatment in comparison with the traditional cost of HV therapy, which is very high. And we have like an HV treatment in the work, but also, as I mentioned, we work for cancer and coronavirus as well. So even though the HV treatment is the one which is in a more advanced stage of research, as we already tested on animals and we are working towards starting human trials. We also have very promising preliminary work for coronavirus and cancer as well.
Okay, thank.
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so 지금 제가 질문한 게 뭐냐면은 이 왜 이걸 시작했냐고 물어봤거든요. 물어봤는데 이제 그 정부나 어떤 그 투자 회사들의 어떤 그 관심이 없는 의료들 있잖아요. 연구 이런 것들. 하지만 꼭 필요한 것들. 이러한 것들을 하는데 이제 블록체인을 도입을 하게 되면 이것들이 탈중앙화돼서 펀딩이라든가 페이먼트를 할 때 이제 이 블록체인을 사용할 수 있게 하니까 실제로 어떤 정말 꼭 필요한 연구고 또 지역사회에 필요한데 예를 들면 제3국에서 일어나고 있는 이러한 그런 그 HIV라든가 이런 것들을 보면은 지금은 우리 그 많이 얘기하지 않죠. 하지만 실제로 일어나고 있고 제3국에서는 많은 사람이 죽고 있고 그래서 정부나 이런 어떤 투자가들의 투자 기관에 관심이 없지만 이 커뮤니티가 중심이 되는 이러한 블록체인 기반의 탈중앙화 의료 연구 이러한 리서치 이러한 프로젝트가 꼭 필요할 거다라고 이제 생각이 들고 또 그렇게 하고 있다 이거죠. 그래서 지금 주요 관심사는 자기는 이제 HIV하고 캔서이지만 그쪽이 분야이지만 이제 코비드 19도 연구를 하고 있고 또 지금 얘기하는 거 보니까 주로 지금 이제 동물이죠. 쥐나 이런 것들 테스트를 하지만 이제 임상 실험을 사람으로 또 이제 확장시키고자 하는 그러한 쪽으로 가고 있다 이렇게 얘기를 하는데, so you just mentioned that the trial, right? You're currently doing in the like any small animals like mice and things like that, but you are trying to expand to human trial. Is that what you said?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, once you have enough data from animal experimentation, which usually happens in mice, you use so-called humanized mice, which are small mice that have human cells inside them. So you can test e-therapy in those small animals. And when you have enough data regarding the safety and effectiveness of the treatment, then you obtain approval by the regulatory agencies, which in Italy is called IFA, for starting human trials. And we already have agreements with some hospitals, some local hospitals for running the human trials as soon as we obtain approval for human experimentation.
Alright, great. 그래서 지금 이제 그 임상 실험은 그 쥐를 하고 있는데 이제 이 사람 쥐를 사용하는 이유는 이제 사람하고 좀 비슷한 점들이 있고 그래서 하고 있는데 이제 이탈리아 같은 경우에는 뭐 미국 같은 경우에는 FDA가 있겠고 한국에도 뭐가 있겠죠. 그리고 이탈리아는 IFA라고 했습니다. IFA, right? 그래서 여기서 허가를 받아야지 이제 사람한테도 할 수 있는데 지금 이미 이제 그 이탈리아에 있는 병원들하고는 이제 어떤 그 어그리먼트가 있고 IFA 허가가 떨어지게 되면 사람을 통한 임상 실험도 할 수 있겠다 이렇게 얘기를 했습니다. Alright, thank you. So, how about the business model? How you raise fund? How you run the business? I mean, if you want to research, you gotta have fund, right? So,
yes,
without government or private like investment companies, how you generate fund and how you run. You have this project for more than 1 year, right? Like you started this project like 2 to 3 years ago. So yeah, we are interested how you run the business.
Yes, of course, there's an expectation when you develop a pharmaceutical product to have a profit. So I like to say that we are a for-profit company, but with a conscience, in the sense that we are profitable, but we operate with a conscience. That we do not want to make as much profit as possible out of the diseases, but to provide a more affordable treatment, which in the long run doesn't really affect greatly your profits, as having more people being able to access your treatment. You may even be able to make more profits by having more people accessing treatment. So basically, how do we raise funds? The token and the token sale has been an instrument through which we raise funds, and the pharmacological products that we are developing are very valuable, in the sense that an HV therapy can be worth billions in terms of commercial values. So the people purchasing the token are supporting the research. Because there's like a business model where the pharmaceutical products are going to generate substantial revenue. And at the same time, when you own the token, it is like as you own access to the product, because as I mentioned, the token is used as a means of payment. So by owning the token, you own access to the therapy, and is as if you own the product itself. Because when people will have to access the treatment, they will use the token as a payment. So basically, token holders own the research. They own the access to the therapy. So it is almost as they own the research itself. This is the way I see it.
오케이, 땡큐. 그래서 지금 어떻게 이 프로젝트를 운영을 하느냐, 펀딩은 어떻게 모으느냐, 이런 것들을 펀딩은 어떻게 하느냐, 그렇잖아요. 이 프로젝트가 지금 나온 지가 몇 년이 된 것 같은데, 그랬더니 이 토큰 세일을 통해서 펀딩을 했고, 그리고 이 토큰을 소유를 하면 이 토큰을 가지고, 그러니까 여기도 결국은 수익을 내야지만이 운영이 되겠죠. 하지만 이제 이 조나산이 강조하는 것은 수익을 내야 되지만, 그렇다고 수익만을 위해서 하는 것은 아니고, 여기서 이것이 가지고 있는 하나의 가치가 있기 때문에 이 프로젝트 하는 것이고, 이 토큰을 가지고 있으면 이 토큰을 통해서 어떤 의료 이 연구라든가 또는 의료 서비스의 이제 어세스, 사용할 수 있는 그러한 자격, 권리, 이런 것들도 토큰 소유의 그런 혜택이라고 생각을 한대요. So you mentioned that the affordable, like a price. I mean, like in third world, they are not like
Yes.
rich or anything. So you're trying to provide them an affordable way to assess the medical service, right?
Yes. It's a currency that is going to be used for purchasing all medical products, so for assessing them. In a sense that token holders now own access to such treatments, to such products.
Okay. All right.
And also, and another aspect is that there's also value. There's also an intrinsic value in the decentralized application that we are developing, and we believe those applications will be used by other companies for their research. So there's also like the value of the software we are developing in terms of the centralized application, and the token being integrated in the governance of such applications is going to provide additional value to the token itself. So on one side, we have like the commercial products, which are the pharmacological products that we are developing. On the other side, we have the software products that we are developing in terms of the centralized applications. And I'd like to mention that we recently launched our first decentralized application, which features a swap DEX, and it is the core application where we will build all the functionalities for science and other stuff.
Okay, thanks. 그래서 지금 그 이 토큰이 이 펀딩을 하거나 또 페이먼트, 그러니까 이 의료 서비스나 의료 제품을 구매하시는데 사용이 될 수도 있고, 또 이제 그 디센트럴라이즈 앱, 그러니까 분산화 앱에서 사용될 수 있는 하나의 거버넌스 토큰으로서도 사용이 될 수 있다고 해요. 그래서 의료 리서치하는 그런 개인이나 단체가 이 D 앱을 사용을 해서 이제 리서치하는 데 도움을 받을 수 있는 그러한 용도로도 사용이 될 수 있다고 합니다. Okay. So right now the token INNBC is on ERC20, but as you know, I mean, in terms of affordability, when you try to do something, some transaction or sending tokens, it costs some money. It's not small, so. Do you have any are you looking for an alternative network, or do you try to develop your own blockchain? So what's the solution for the high gas fee, affordability, that kind of stuff?
Oh, yes, that's a good question. Well, basically, the way I see it, with Ethereum 2.0 coming out, there's an opportunity for the fee to be reduced in the future. However, right now this stage is not here. It's still not here. So the way we did, especially for the centralized application, was to also expand on Binance Smart Chain, which is a new blockchain issued by Binance, which features very low transaction fees. So one way one way to address this issue right now is to take advantage of a blockchain, a low-fee blockchain such as Binance Smart Chain. So in fact, we issued our first app on this network because thinking that many transactions may happen, this will allow for cheaper fees for the users of the decentralized application. However, we also manage for our users a way to dramatically save on fees because, for example, there's some alternative blockchains such as the Tron blockchains for sending USDT. For example, you can use TRC network, which allows you to send the USDT for a few pennies. Then on the big one exchange, you have the ability to trade an NBC, and if you take advantage of the internal wallet of the exchange, you can send the tokens between internal wallets without paying any fee. So if you use the big one wallet for an NBC, and if you want to send a token to another person which has a wallet on the same exchange, is not going to pay any fee.
Oh, okay.
And also for withdrawing the tokens to external wallets such as Trust Wallet, the fee is very low. So by using Big One Exchange, our users can save a lot in terms of fee, both by depositing with Tron blockchain for USDT for purchasing the token, and by using the exchange wallet for storing the token and for sending to other people using the exchange wallet. And it's a very safe exchange, so we think that people can hold comfortably the tokens on such exchange.
Yeah, big one exchange, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
그래서 지금 이더리움 계열의 토큰이잖아, ERC20. 그래서 왜 그거를 하냐, 좀 더 지금 그 가스비가 많이 나와서 전송하거나 이럴 때 돈이 많이 드는데 의료비 지원 어떤 저렴하게 보낼 수 있는 그런 방법들 생각하지 않냐 그랬더니 두 가지를 얘기를 해요. 뭐냐면은 세 가지구나. 첫 번째는 지금 바이낸스 스마트 체인으로 지금 확장을 하고 있고요. 그리고 이더리움 2.0이 나오게 되면 훨씬 더 저렴하겠지만 그건 아직 나오지 않아서 바이낸스 스마트 체인으로 옮기고, 또 그 빅원 거래소의 앱이 있답니다. 그래서 빅원 거래소에서 그 INNBC 토큰을 전송을 할 때는 무료로 전송이 가능하대요. 그래서 그 거래소 지갑을 사용하는 것도 괜찮고 비권 거래소가 상당히 안전하다고 얘기를 하고요. 그 밖에도 이제 다른 블록체인을 통해서 토큰을 보낼 수 있는 방법도 있는데 이제 예를 들면 트론 블록체인을 통해서 TRC20 계열의 계열을 통해서 보낼 수 있는 방법도 있다고 합니다. 여러 가지 방법들을 사용할 수 있다 이렇게 얘기를 하고요. Are there any like competitors in this field?
Specific competitors in this field with regard to what we're doing, there aren't right now because.
Oh, there aren't. Okay, there aren't.
No, there aren't. Yeah, there aren't. This is the only project which features actual science. And when I say actual science, I mean scientific publications, because to distinguish real science from anything else, you must have scientific publications, which means your work has gone through peer review. It has been validated by some leading experts in the field, and then it has to be indexed on PubMed, which is the US government.
Yeah, PubMed. Yeah.
Of the NIH. If your data is on PubMed, then your work is legit because it's part of the scientific literature. What we accept, what the scientific community accepts and accepts as scientific literature. So there aren't other projects which perform actual research. There's project claiming they do research. There's project claiming they do something in biomedical field, but they don't have scientific publications. Like they only say they're developing some software for the research, but they're not actually performing the research. So INNBC is the only real biotech token in this sense, as it has actual scientists performing actual research with actual scientific publications.
Good, thank you. So I think that you just indicate a very important aspect because of the scientific research publication. I think one of the users asked about that too. So would you be able to provide a link or resource to actually you publish the scientific research?
Yes. All the research is publicly available on PubMed. So if you just go on PubMed and you type my name, which is Jonathan Fior, you will see the list of scientific publications.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, I only publish in open access scientific journals, which means you can read the full article without paying. So my philosophy is also to not having the data behind a paywall, because you can publish on open access or non-open access journals, which charge a fee for allowing you to read the full article. So
if you can search your name on the PubMed, you will be able to. People can find your publication, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
They're also reported on our website, but PubMed is a public medical database, so you just go there and you type the name of the author and you find all the scientific publications.
Thank you. 그래서 제가 경쟁사가 있냐고 이렇게 얘기를 했는데 현재 경쟁사는 자기가 없다고 생각한다. 왜냐하면은 연구를 한다 뭐 이렇게 주장을 할 수 있겠지만 실제로 연구를 하고 논문을 내는 그런 프로젝트는 자기가 없다고 생각을 한대요. 그래서 제가 물어본 게 그럼 너는 그 논문이 있냐, 찾을 수 있냐 그렇게 얘기를 했더니 자기 이름을 PubMed이라고 있어요. PUBMED. 거기서 검색을 하면 자기가 쓴 논문들이 있대요. 그래서 거기에 올라가는 논문은 이 피어 리뷰 같은 거, 다른 학자들, 제3의 학자들이 리뷰를 하고 그런 것들이 올라가잖아요. 그래서 PubMed에 가서 조나산 피어를 서치를 하면 자기 논문을 볼 수가 있답니다. 논문을 볼 수가 있고, 그리고 거기 이제 어떤 논문들은 돈을 내야지만 볼 수 있는데 자기는 돈을 내지 않고도 읽을 수 있도록 그렇게 만들었대요. 그래서 여러분 한번 PubMed에 가가지고 이제 의사나 이 연구원들은 PubMed이 친숙할 거예요. 이제 거기서 이제 리서치 논문들 같은 것들을 볼 수 있잖아요. 그러니까 그런 것들을 보면서 이 사람이 진짜 연구하는 사람이구나 아닌구나 이런 것들을 확인을 할 수가 있겠죠. Okay, looks like there are people coming in and they're asking questions. Okay, all right.
Yes, I always suggest people to read the scientific publications to have
Okay.
an understanding of.
Okay, great. So how about, do you have like it's kind of roadmap or vision, like a 5 or 10 year vision? Do you have that one? What's your 5 or 10 year vision?
Yes, we do have a roadmap, which can also be accessed on our website. Our work will concentrate on one side on developing the research, so achieving, starting human trials, achieving the approval for starting the human trials for HV therapy. And on the other side, we are also working on the liquidity aspect of the token, which means listing on more exchanges, expanding our community. So on one side, you have like the research and the token as a currency, which also needs to be supported and developed. So and the decentralized application. So all these aspects work together, making the project, providing the value for the project. And so our roadmap will focus on one side the research, on the other side the token and the liquidity aspect, as I mentioned, more listing, more exchanges, more like activities, airdrops for expanding our community. And also there's the development of the decentralized applications. We plan to, we already issued our first decentralized application, but we plan to finish in about, we have like the full functionality of the decentralized application ready in about in less than a year, so to be ready for the storage, for storing the scientific data. Actually, it might be even less than a year, maybe a couple of months, but like I want to provide a safe estimation. So as we are working also to this functionality, which is something that has not been done before, using the blockchain for storing the scientific information.
오케이. 그래서 지금 이제 3가지 정도로 제가 비전을 물어봤어요. 향후로 어떻게 할 거냐, 그러니까 로드맵 같은 게 있냐 했더니 3가지 정도로 얘기했는데, 첫 번째는 이제 임상 실험을 사람에게도 할 수 있는 것까지 하는 게 첫 번째고, 두 번째는 이제 그 유동성 공급인데 지금 거래소들이 몇 개 있는데요. 더 많은 거래소에서 이제 이 토큰을 사용할 수 있도록, 살 수 있도록 하는 거고, 세 번째는 이제 D앱, 분산형 앱을 개발해서 거기에 어떤 블록체인을 통한 의료 연구가 그쪽에 기재가 될 수 있도록 한다라는 그러한 세 가지 목표가 있다고 합니다. 그래서 제가 지금 한 개 대부분 다 질문은 했고요. 이제 여러분 질문들을 한번 좀 살펴보도록 할게요. So I think I asked most of the questions to you, and then there are some questions on the chat. So I will go through and see what kind of questions they asked. So maybe you can answer. Okay?
Yes, one thing that I forgot to mention is that we're also developing some Defi, which is defined as Defi aspects for the project, which is like farming and stacking. We're also working for the kind of stuff.
Oh, so, do you? That's interesting.
Yes, we already issued like, yes, because we believe that offering something which is appealing to traditional users will also help expand our user base, which in turn will provide a stronger support for all the products that we are developing. So I love to think about farming the token in the sense that you are farming actual therapies for HIV, for cancer, for coronavirus. Like by farming the token, you aren't just farming a token, you are actually farming drugs and therapies for those diseases, which I believe it's a very interesting concept. We call this Defi science. Like
what science?
We call it Defi science, which is like
DeFi science.
Yes. Yes, yes, Defi science, Defi science, yeah.
DEFI science.
Yes, yes, Defi science.
That's a that's good word. That's very good. 지금 이제 또 한 가지가 커뮤니티 형성을 하는 데 있어서 여러분 이제 우리 파밍이라든가 스테이킹 해보셨죠? 이제 그렇게 하면서 커뮤니티를 생성을 할 수가 있대요. 그러니까 파밍하면 토큰 파밍 하잖아요. 그래서 그거를 이제 조나산 말로는 DeFi Science 이렇게 얘기를 한대요. 그래서 D앱을 통해서 스테이킹도 하고 파밍도 할 수 있도록 해서 커뮤니티를 형성하는 거. 그래서 자기 말로 DeFi Science, Defi Science라는 말인데 상당히 재밌네요. 저도 처음 들어봤는데 I think that's a great word actually. Defi Science, DeFi Science, clever, awesome. 오케이. Let's see. 제가 질문을 다 할 수는 없어요. 시간이 제한돼 있으니까 벌써 45분 정도 한 것 같은데 1시간 내에 좀 끝내도록 할 수 있도록 하고요. So there are some comments that you look very good.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Do you have like any physical, like a medical product that you developed, or are you still researching it?
Well, the therapy that we are developing, it's called soup and cell infusion therapy. And I'd like to explain this. I'll try to summarize what this therapy, how this therapy works.
TRP? TRP?
Yes, yes. It's a therapy. It's a cell-based therapy in which we inject cells called supplement cells, and they are irradiated before injection, and those cells have a therapeutic effect for fighting the HIV virus.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this actual product. Which, as I said, we tested in animals, and our test showed that the therapy is very safe. And what this therapy does, basically, normally you have the HIV virus, which infects and destroys your cells. So what we do is we provide the virus with an external source of cells, which for the virus are easier to infect. And basically what the virus does is the virus infects those cells instead of your own cells. But by doing so, the virus gets trapped in those cells because those cells are irradiated. What we can describe those cells as a decoy target that the virus destroys instead of the patient's cells. So we provide the virus with a decoy target, and this is a very novel approach because usually what you do with the traditional pharmacologic approach is to try to fight the virus with drugs, and but the virus adapts and just becomes stronger than the drugs. So basically, it's an endless battle in which, in the end, the virus prevails and becomes progressively more aggressive as it adapts to the drugs. What we do instead is to provide the virus with what it wants. So to provide the virus with an alternative kind of cells where it can replicate, that it can infect. And we observe that this causes an opposite evolution of the virus toward a less aggressive evolution. So the virus becomes less aggressive for the patient. The virus becomes more sensitive to neutralization, meaning that the antibodies of the patients are more capable of neutralization. So more capable of getting rid of the virus. We observe that this is what happens in nature, because in nature you have a pacific coexistence between the virus and the host. In nature you have an equivalent, the animal equivalent of the virus, which is called CIV, which is in African green monkeys. And those animals developed the ability of having a pacific coexistence with the virus. So they don't develop ADS. They are infected with the virus, but they don't develop the disease. So we're trying to replicate the same phenomena in humans. So providing humans with a different set of cells for the virus, they can allow the virus to replicate, they can allow the virus to be they can allow the virus to be caged in those cells so that they don't harm the patient's cells. And we observed that by providing those cells to the virus becomes increasingly less aggressive. So there's a real vaccination effect in this sense, that those cells, we can say those cells have a vaccination effect. We observe a very strong vaccination effect in vitro, and we have been the first to test this vaccination effect in vivo in humanized mice. And in humanized mice, we observed also eradication of the virus, which we believe can be caused by the fact that the cells are irradiated and the virus have troubles to replicate. So those cells may also act as a trap for the virus. This is what we are theorizing. So those cells may even be able to clean your blood from the virus. So this will be a very huge discovery, but we cannot say this for certain now. We can only theorize this. We will need more experiments to say this. But we had very, very interesting results in our experiments.
네, thank you. So I will just explain in general because I cannot say all the details.
Yes,
그러면
sorry.
yeah. So yeah, I'm not an expert on medical research. Anyway, 그래서 지금 그 데이비드 킴이 현재 제품이 있다면 어떤 게 있느냐 이런 거 실제로 하는 거 물어봤는데요. 지금 그 TRP라고 얘기를 해가지고 이제 셀에 그 세포에 직접 투여를 하는 건데, 그래서 이제 셀이 그 HIV에 저항해서 싸우는 건데, 지금 이제 좀 독특하게 느껴지는 게 뭐냐면, 왜 그 바이러스들이 이 내성들이 생겨가지고 계속 변이가 일어나잖아요. 이제 그런 것들이 일어나지 않도록 하는 방법이 있는데, 그걸 그 목표물을 좀 위장하는 거죠. 그래서 이 바이러스가 변종이 되지 않으면서 이제 어떤 그 해결책들을 어떤 문제점이나 이런 것들을 복제해내는 되게 좋은 방법이랍니다. 좋은 방법인데 그래서 연구원들이 이제 이 방법을 통해서 좀 더 쉽게 연구를 하고 이제 문제점들을 복사해내고 또 결과를 복사해내는 그런 일들을 할 수가 있고, 그래서 상당히 좋은 방법이라고 하고요. 그리고 이제 그 아프리카 쪽에 보면은 어떤 동물이 있는데 HIV 이러한 바이러스가 있는데도 어떤 그런 증상들이 나타나지 않고 정상적으로 생활하는 동물이 있대요. 그래서 그러한 것들이 이제 사람에게도 온다 그러면 어떤 그런 질병을 통해서 사람이 죽거나 잘못되지 않고 이렇게 그 바이러스에 저항해서 바이러스 있음에도 불구하고 정상적으로 생활할 수 있는 그러한 것들도 연구를 하고 있다고 합니다. 그래서 상당히 되게 흥미로운데 제가 모든 것들을 다 얘기는 할 수가 없고요. 그리고 여러분이 하는 질문들도 대부분 제가 하면서 답이 되었다고 생각을 해요. 뭐 투자 금액이라든가 뭐 진행 단계라든가 이런 것들은 퍼블리케이션을 보면 될 것 같고, 펀딩은 연구비 조달 등은 토큰을 통해서 하고 있다고 얘기했고, 타사는 경쟁이 없고, 타사는 이렇게 실제로 연구하는 회사는 없다고 하고요. 건강식품은 의료가 아니죠. 그러니까 이거는 아닌 것 같고, 발행량으로는 메이저 상장에 어려움이 있을 것 같은데 상장에 대한 계획은 있는지. 이게 발행량이 너무 많아서 메이저 거래소 상장이 어렵겠다 이렇게 얘기를 하시는 건가요? 그 발행량에 대해서 좀 얘기를 해볼게요. Looks so when we see the coin market cap, your maximum your circulation supply total supply, it seems to quite high. Let's see. So 100만, 1000만억. What's the maximum of circulation supply? Are you aware of it?
Yes, I'd like to comment on this because if you look at the total supply, to be like it has to put in the context of price and market cap, because total supply as a number doesn't really mean anything if you don't consider the price and market cap. If you compare the price and market cap of our coin with other coin with a similar price, you will see that the supply is very limited. So what this means is that it can easily go up in price and value with not a great amount of investments required. So it means that with just some decent volume, the token can go up in price quite easily. So the price is low, and the market cap is also. I can say that the market cap is like yes. I mean, it's a low market cap coin. So
okay.
at this stage, I believe that with respect to the price and market cap, I can say the supply is very limited.
Okay.
Because you also have to look at the price and market cap to have a greater understanding of the supply. So
yeah, according to the coin market cap data, your market cap is low market cap, definitely. You got 560,000 1000만, 10만, yeah. 560,000 market cap. Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, and I believe that it has the potential to grow to several millions at least. So in the future. So I believe that with respect to price and market cap, the supply is very limited.
Okay, alright. 그래서 지금 이제 토큰 발행량을 얘기를 하셨는데 실제로는 그 마켓캡을 봐야 된다고 합니다. 시총. 그래서 이 프로젝트의 성장 가능성은 지금 56만 불 정도 되거든요. 56만 불이면은 약 6억 정도 되나요? 그러니까 마켓캡이 되게 작은, 시총이 되게 작은 코인이고 성장 가능성이 꽤 큰 코인이다 이렇게 볼 수 있겠고요. Do you see any problem listing other major exchanges?
Thank you for the question. Right now, we are listed on several exchanges such as Big One, Trax24, Stacks, Mercatox. Although Big One is the most active and greatest market we have. So we direct our users to Big One because it's like
Big One. Okay.
The greatest exchange where we are listed. We are always looking for more promising exchanges. For example, KuCoin is like a candidate that we are looking for listing, and of course, like we also submitted to Coinbase, Binance, of course. So we are looking for expanding. Although I believe we have a very great community and on Big One, which is a very great exchange in terms of UE, in terms of withdrawals and deposit. We are very fast. I believe that it's an exchange that can compete with other top exchanges. So I believe it's an incredibly great exchange.
Which one? Big One are you talking about?
Yes, Big One. I believe it's an amazing platform for coin. So, but even we are always looking for expanding. So we aim to expanding only on those platforms that are really worth it. So like Coin, Coinbase, Binance, those kind of platforms. So.
Okay, good. 그래서 지금 다른 거래소에 상장하는 거는 크게 어렵게 느껴지진 않는데 일단 두 가지는 첫 번째 빅원 거래소 같은 경우에 상당히 빠르고 상당히 좋은 거래소로 가니까 그걸 사용하면 좋겠다고 하고요. 지금 이제 다른 거래소 생각하고 있는 거는 쿠코인이나 바이낸스나 코인베이스 이렇게 생각을 하고 있다고 합니다. I mean, this is kind of my personal question. Sometimes those bigger exchange require lots of investment. I mean, sometimes listing fee is quite high. So
Yes.
I don't know whether there's a good way to do so or not. There's kind of a dilemma. What do you think? What's your opinion on listing the top tier exchange? Don't they require to send a lot of money or a lot of tokens for them? Sometimes they dump on the exchange.
Yes, I believe that the big fees that you are required to pay for listing can be something that can slow down, like the growth of many projects. So
Yeah, right.
able to overcome. So the way to go around this obstacle, for example, if your project increases dramatically increases in popularity, they're just going to list you for free.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, one way is to work on your project so that it becomes popular enough so that they will want to list you. So without taxing you with huge fees. So because those exchanges are quite expensive. So what we're doing here is to try to have our project become large enough. And also, I believe that sometimes if they see a project which is extremely innovative, which is doing something that no one other project is doing, they may want to have you on their platform because it's also a win for them. So I believe that. So one way to try to fight this problem is also to try to work as hard as you can so that your project can be established enough so that they will just list you free of charge.
오케이, 땡큐. 그래서 지금 이제 그 탑티어 익스체인지에 상장할 때 돈이 많이 드는 거 아시죠? 엄청나게 많이 듭니다. 새로운 프로젝트가 그거 하려면은 그런 돈이 많이 드는데 그렇게 되면은 결국은 그게 투자자에게는 좋지 않은 게 될 수 있잖아요. 왜냐면 돈을 그만큼 줬으니까 돈 토큰도 그만큼 뭐 줘야 되니까 걔네들이 그거를 가만히 가지고 있겠습니까? 다 팔아버리겠죠. 그래서 결국은 우리 같은 투자자들에게 나쁘게 작용할 수 있는데 또 다른 방법 같은 경우에는 이 프로젝트 자체가 인기가 있고 많이 성장하게 되면 이 거래소들이 너도 나도 우리가 너 하겠다. 너네 무료로 상장시키겠다. 이런 것들도 있을 수 있다고 합니다. 그래서 그것이 하나의 더 좋은 방법이겠죠. 이 프로젝트가 되게 인기가 있어서 많은 유저들이 이것을 사용을 하고 있다면 이제 상장시키는데 훨씬 더 도움이 되겠다. 그게 더 건강한 방법이다. 이렇게 얘기를 하겠고요. 지금 다른 질문들이 많은데 벌써 1시간이 되었기 때문에 이 정도로 해야 될 것 같아요. 지금 I see there are many more questions, but I think we already passed 1 hour. So wow, just last comment I read here. I think one of them just came in from Nigeria. And then he says, on behalf of crypto elite Nigeria, we say thank you, sir. That's a great comment. So looks like they appreciate your effort from Nigeria.
Yes, we have like a dedicated group which was started by some people from the country, and they speak French, and I mean that is an extremely great community. I love this kind of stuff because we are just purely community made. You have people like starting their own groups about your project, and I really love this kind of stuff because it makes you feel like you're like part of a big family.
That's great. That's great. 지금 방금 그 나이지리아의 그 암호화폐 유저가 와가지고 너무 감사하다라는 얘기를 했고, 지금 이제 나이지리아도 그 프랑스어를 하거든요. 프렌치라기 때문에 거기에 커뮤니티가 있는 것 같아요. 강한 커뮤니티가 있는 것 같고, so looks like they want to learn more. So maybe we can schedule another one. Maybe I don't know what format it would be. Maybe we can do it. You are in my Telegram group, right? I think you're in my group. So maybe we can collect some questions and then send it to you, and then you can respond. Or so yeah, something like that. So we can have some different kind of like an AMA instead of live format, because we see you already. So we know you're transparent, you're legit. So that's great.
Yes, that is important because like there's so many anonymous projects and we really don't know who's the people behind. I honestly believe that if you're not willing to put your face on your product, how can expect others to put their money on it? Like this is the way I believe. I mean, this is how I think.
That's great. 그래서 지금 자기가 이렇게 페이스 인터뷰하는 게 중요하다고 생각하는 거는 자기가 이 프로젝트를 하는데 얼굴을 보여주지 않고 익명으로 한다면은 그 프로젝트를 얼마나 믿을 수 있겠냐 그런 얘기를 해요. 그래서 그 투명성, 그죠? 정직할 수 있고 그리고 내가 내 CEO로서 내 얼굴을 내보이는 건 되게 중요하다라고 생각을 하고 그리고 또 다른 AMA는 어떤 방식이 될지 모르겠네요. 이제 이미 얼굴을 봤으니까 이제 다른 방식으로 AMA를 하는 것도 좋을 것 같아요. 이미 1시간이 지났고 이 정도로 해야 될 것 같고요. So we might have more questions about tokenomics and how we more airdrops. Looks like you are planning on airdrops for those who are holding INNBC tokens. Is that right?
Yes. We always we from time to time we run airdrops for expanding our community. So we have more like airdrops planned.
Yeah. So 여러분 질문들이 많으실 텐데요. 제 생각에는 여기서 더 하게 되면 상당히 지루하게 되고 많은 늦은 시간이 될 테니까요. 그래서 I think we are done. Thanks for coming. And if we have more questions, we'll look for you, maybe your Telegram group or Telegram channel. So we'll watch for the announcement. 그래서 여러분들 더 많은 질문들이 있으실 텐데요. 지금 조나산이 우리 방에도 있고 또 So you have your Telegram group, right?
Yes, we have our Telegram.
Yeah, can you share that link to the group so we can go and watch?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, please. So thanks for coming, everyone. So 여러분 와주셔서 고맙고요. If you have any more questions, please visit their Telegram group. Also, like their website, and then also Jonathan is in my Telegram group. He may answer you if he is available. 그래서 여러분들이 그 질문 있으실 때 우리 방에 있잖아요, 조나산이. 그러니까 할 수도 있겠고요. 그래서 여러 가지 방법으로 이제 이 AM에서 다 답을 할 수 없으니까 여러분들이 웹사이트도 가보고 텔레그램도 가보고 또 지금 의학 그 논문도 있잖아요. 영어지만 한번 직접 가서 확인도 해보시고요. 그렇게 해서 이 프로젝트가 정말로 좋은 프로젝트인지 이제 하나의 그 징검다리 놔줬다고 생각하시고요. 답을 스스로 찾아 나가는 방법을 했으면 좋겠습니다. So we just put up foundation to know your project. So we cannot answer every question in short period of time. So they can come, they can visit the site, they can visit your Telegram group, or they can ask questions. So I hope this helps for the users or fans to know your project better. All right. Thanks for your time. I appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
자, 여러분 수고하셨습니다. 오늘은 이 정도로 하고요. 더 다른 질문들이 있을 텐데 그거는 여러분들이 이제 직접 연구도 좀 하시고요. 텔레그램 방에 가서 보시고 웹사이트도 가서 보시고 하는데 여러분 느낌은 어떠셨습니까? 저도 많이 배웠어요. 많이 배웠고 그 지금 마켓캡 자체로 보면은 무지하게 저평가된 프로젝트는 맞습니다. 지금 마켓캡이 50만 불 정도, 50만 불이죠? 맞아요. 50만 불밖에 안 돼요. 그래 한때는 꽤 올랐던 코인 같은데 지금은 그렇지 않은데요. 자, 이것이 여러분들한테 어떻게 비쳤을지 상당히 궁금하고요. 더 자세한 내용들은 텔레그램 방에서 또 토론을 했으면 좋겠습니다. 오늘 늦은 시간까지 참여해주셔서 고맙습니다. 지금 12시 40분이죠? 고생하셨습니다. 뭐 장외 거래 지금 가격이 너무 싼데 여기서 어떻게 장외 거래를 더 하시려고? 자, 굿나잇 여러분. 좋은 밤 되시고요. 또 외국에 계신 분은 좋은 하루 되시기 바랍니다. Good day. Have a good day. Good night. Don't let the back bite. 안녕히 주무십시오. 자, 그런 질문들 지금 회사가 많이 보유하고 있다고 하는데 그런 것들도 직접 물어보시면 좋겠네요.